going to do a little arc to try to get under you. 100 feet back, making that dive. Too cool here.
That 38 is no matter what I do, he's today.
Race friends, it's time for the fastest 2 hours in motorsports. It's time for On Pit Road Racing, right here, right now, live from downtown Las Vegas on the flagship station, the WCOBM Television Network. Our race team will have all the latest news, updates, and interviews for the world of motorsports. So buckle up and pull those belts tight. The green flag is in the air, and it's time to go racing. And here are the hosts of On Pit Road Racing, Alan Michaels and the First Lady, Diane Fox.
Well, good afternoon or good evening, I guess, wherever you're watching us from. Welcome and thank you for tuning into On Pit Road Racing. I'm Diane Fox with Alan Michaels here. We're going to talk some racing and had a lot of racing this weekend.
We had a lot of racing this weekend. You are right. First of all, you're back in the studio, so man, you got some fans here today. A little drum beat for you. How about that? Huh?
Okay.
They love you to death. Oh my goodness gracious. Are you feeling better, Diane?
Yes, I'm starting to. Yes.
Starting to feel a little better. That's good, man. Well, welcome to the show. On Pit Road Racing is right here at the WCOBM studios. We are located downtown Fremont Street at 450 Fremont Street. This show airs each and every Wednesday afternoon starting at 5 p.m. and it can wrap up at 7 p.m. Pacific time. We are streaming the show live right now on the WCOBM.TV channel along with our Facebook channels, YouTube. We've got it on Twitter. We've got it on everywhere. Just look at our social medias and you can find it. Want to thank all of our show partners in for this show today. The Gene Woods Racing Experience, 2 great locations for you folks. Here in Las Vegas, we've got the outdoor location, 121 East Sunset Road. It's right out by the airport. The planes are coming in. You're flying around the racetrack. The planes are screaming in and out above you. Real good time. They're open up from noon to 10 p.m. daily. No reservations. Just stop out and have some good time there. Now, if you're into the drifting, man, we've got another location downtown. Actually, on the flip side of where this television studios are at is the Gene Woods Racing Experience. The indoor drift track is a 12,000 square foot indoor racing facility. Slick as slick, they say, man. So come on in and enjoy some drifting. It's a true drift track. You can find everything and more information about the Gene Woods Racing Experiences at gokartslasvegas.com. Just scroll down the page. You'll see both tracks, all the information right there. Also, our good friends over at the Woods Family Sandwiches, 2 great locations right on here in the Las Vegas Henderson area, pretty much right on the line right there, out by the Auto Valley Mall, Pacific Coast Highways where they're at. Woods Families, that's the WFSandwiches.com. That's their official website. Great food, great product there, man. You love their chicken salad, man. I love it. I love Dalen's roast beef wraps, man. You just can't beat them, Diane.
And you can't beat that chicken salad.
Can't beat that chicken salad. There you go. Also, I want to say hi to our good friends at Las Vegas Motor Speedway, LVMS.com. That's our official home track here in Las Vegas. We love everybody out there. Chris Powell, Jeff Motley, everybody. Of course, you got TJ Clark and Cindy Clark running the bull ring out there. They'll have racing action this weekend. We'll get all into that. So that's what we got coming up. And also, don't forget our show partner, the main concern of why we're here also to do racing or support racing, broadcast racing. But Diane, you grab one and I'll grab another, and we're going to show them the hot shoes right here. We're going to talk about this throughout the program today, how your business can be a partner of this. And it's simply by just not advertising radio time or television time. It's making a donation to put shoes on people's feet, whether they're senior people, if they're teenagers, if they're kids, whatever it might be. Everybody at the Hot Shoe Hall of Fame, and we're going to talk about it. Of course, you can see it on the bottom of your screen. You can log on to hotshoehof.com. You can make a donation, and we'll talk more about that as the program comes along. Still to come up, man, we've got some great guests. We've got our good friends from GMS Racing, the Craftsman Truck Series, Grant Enfinger, Rahul Kruth, and Daniel Dye is going to be joining us. And just talked to my buddy Tom over at Young Motorsports. It's our good friends over there, Spencer Boyd and all those groups. So we're going to have those guys coming on. And just some great racing. Jeff Motley, Brendan Garner will be joining the show coming up a little bit later. More towards September, October, we'll have Jeff and Brandon on because NASCAR will be returning to town. And, of course, Brandon drove in NASCAR years and years. His family is in the hotel casino business here in Las Vegas, and he also brews, I heard, some good, mean moonshine, too. So we'll have to ask Brendan about that when we get around, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sounds good to me.
Looking good out there, man. Just if you'd like to be a guest on the show, it's really easy. Contact Diane Fox right here, 702-803-0875, Monday through Friday on the business line, folks, 9 to 5 p.m. Pacific time. Or you can drop her an email at onpitroadracing@gmail. That's onpitroadracing@gmail.com. We'll put you in what we call racing around the country, and that's what Mr. Haeden Plybon will be on today. Did I say that right, Diane?
Plybon.
Plybon.
Yeah.
Okay, Haeden Plybon.
Haeden Plybon.
This kid is a Northwest racer, and I started following him, Diane, on his Facebook page, and there's not really a lot to tell about the kid besides he just wins.
I was looking for some information on the kid this afternoon, so I could come up with some really, good questions. But all you see is he just wins.
He's in the winner's circle. Every track this kid goes to. I mean, I've been following this kid for weeks, and every time Haeden wins the Classic 100. He wins the 125. He wins this. He wins that. So this kid knows how to drive a car, and we're going to talk to how he got started, how he's doing so well. And I mean,
how he wins,
and how he wins,
how he wins.
He's definitely got the determination and the guide, and he must have one bad hot rod too. Yes, I'll tell you that. Exactly, that's for sure.
Exactly.
And hopefully during the second half of the program, Brad Oxley. We met Brad when we were down at Costa Mesa. Man, he's a multi-champion promoter down there, and we hope we got everything with Brad. These motorcycle guys are. They're just like the four-wheel guys, that. All right, there you go. Hey, you got any shout-outs or anything you'd like to say to anybody out there today?
I do. I only got 3.
Okay.
I came out with 3, but I do want to give a big shout-out and a big hooray to Team Blaney.
Okay.
On your win on Monday. I mean,
I thought you were going to come up.
I held my breath, and I was just hoping that on that last lap there was not a caution. I mean, my stomach was rolling, but when he got that checker flag, I mean, I'm like, yes. 2
things that happened that weekend. Did you see that? We'll talk about Joseph Newgarden, right?
Yes.
And then Ryan Blaney's pretty pro. They wanted to celebrate, but they both celebrated with the fans. They said, heck with climbing the fence, heck with doing this. They just jumped in the middle of everybody. I thought that was really cool. That was
so cool. And also want to give a shout out to Kyle Keller. We had him on the show. He's one of the racers out at the bull ring. He graduated.
Oh, no, he's out of school.
He's out of school, so he graduated. I saw his picture on Facebook with him in his cap and gown. So congratulations, Kyle Keller. Way to go.
I think Kyle's heading up to Portland this weekend because the ARCA Series West is going to be up there along with the Xfinity Series this weekend. So good luck to Kyle out there. And of course, Johnny Spilaccio graduated this year from UNLV, got his bachelor's and master's degrees in his physical education. We're going to have Johnny on the show.
He's done a lot of work. My last shout out is to the Vegas Golden Knights. Congratulations on your win. Let's bring that cup home.
6 years in the NHL. They got in the first year, and they came up against a really tough team in the Washington Capitals. I think those guys just out-muscled them, outplayed them. And, Vegas got in. Really, what happened is if you don't understand that when Vegas came in, and just like Seattle did, every team had to give up a player in a draft. So basically, the Vegas Golden Knights, the first year out, played with people that they'd really never played with before. Got to the finals, got beat in 5 games against Washington. Still got into the playoffs last year. They had not a really good season. Brand new coach in this year, and man, it took them 5 games to get it. 5 games to get it. 5 games to get it. But they're on their way to the Stanley Cup game number 1, I believe, here Saturday night. Did you see yesterday what the ticket prices for this? The nosebleeders.
I heard. I didn't see it. I heard it, and when
$600 for nosebleeders.
I'm like,
bottom row stuff.
I mean, how are people like us, and other people? How are we supposed to? No, we can't compete. No. Okay.
Anyhow, that's it.
That's my shout outs to my 3 of my favorite shout outs for the week.
All right. Well, listen, I'd like to shout out to our good friends up in Wisconsin, the Red Cedar Speedway up there in Wisconsin. The Dells are in Wisconsin. Also, our good friends up in Washington State at Grays Harbor Raceway, Castle Rock Speedway. Down in Texas, I want to say hi to our good friends at Texas Thunder Speedway in Killeen, Texas. That's where they're at. Also, a special shout out, man. I'm glad I got a chance to hear this weekend. Our good friend Claire B. Lang from Sirius XM Radio, Channel 90. She's on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday nights.
Yes.
She also does all the pre-rates. Her and John Roberts, excuse me, from Sirius XM right there. And glad Claire's doing okay. Looking forward to seeing her when she gets back out here. Just 30 years in the motorsports business. And Claire B. Lang is still rocking it.
She's a legend now. She's a legend with NASCAR.
And she actually, how she got started in radio, she really never wanted to be an on-air person. She wanted to do like sports reports, and somebody didn't show up one day, so they just threw her in the studio. And there she went, Claire B. Lang, Sirius XM. Check it out, man. Great program. Great programs. All right, let me see what else we got here. Anything else? I guess we got to get to racing news. Hey, how about the weather? Let's check some racing weather. It's brought to you by the Woods Family Sandwiches, 2 locations here in Las Vegas. Henderson up in Boulder City. Diane, what's happening with the weather and race weekend this weekend?
Well, we got a mixed bag. NASCAR Cup and Trucks are in St. Louis this weekend. Weekend looks like this for them. Saturday, mostly sunny skies, high 90, no winds. So I guess that's a good one. Sunday, partly cloudy skies, high 94, winds northeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour, so it goes up a little. The NASCAR Xfinity hits the northwest with a trip to Portland, Oregon, and it's going to be beautiful with plenty of sunshine. Highs right around 77. I mean, that is just a perfect temperature. It's a great day for racing in Portland. The NHRA is on the East Coast this weekend at Epping, New Hampshire. Partly cloudy with a chance of rain and thunderstorms.
Right.
So that could, mess that up a little bit. Popping up all weekend long. High 80 on Friday, then dropping off to 60 on Saturday and Sunday.
Ooh, nice cool
Oh,
weather.
yes, nice cool. IndyCar heads to Motor City this weekend. It's going to be hot and sunny in Motown. High in the low 90s. A slight chance of rain on Saturday. Doesn't look like a very good chance. Lows, slight chance of rain on Saturday. F1 travels to Spain.
Yeah, Barcelona this weekend.
And the weather looks super, super, super. Sunny skies with highs in the mid 70s. That's our racing weekend. Racing weather weekend. Oh, that was a tongue twister. Racing weather weekend, Alan.
There you go. Weather is brought to you by our good friends at the Woods Family Sandwiches, 2 locations. Henderson up in Boulder City. Man, the best product, the best meats, the best subs. All did do it right here. Take a quick break. We'll come back. We'll get you caught up for Memorial Day racing. That's right. It is the hottest weekend in motorsports this past weekend. We've got coverage from F1, Indy. We've also got our NASCAR updates, NHRA, and still to come at the bottom of the hour, our special guest, Diane.
Haeden Plybon.
We'll do it all coming up right after this quick break on Pit Road Racing, live here at the WCOB. I'm Alan Michaels, Diane Fox, back right after this, everybody.
Are you ready for the wildest ride on Fremont Street? The Gene Woods Racing Indoor Go-Kart Track Experience. 450 Fremont Street, suite number 171 on the corner of Las Vegas Boulevard and Fremont Street. Open 7 days a week, noon until midnight. Strap yourself in, pull your safety belts tight, and feel the power and the speed at the Gene Woods Racing Indoor Go-Kart Track Experience, downtown Las Vegas, Fremont Street, 450 Fremont Street, suite number 171, right on the corner of Las Vegas Boulevard and Fremont Street. What are you waiting for? Log on, get your tickets now. It's time to go racing at the Gene Woods Racing Indoor Go-Kart Track Experience. 450 Fremont Street, downtown Las Vegas.
Welcome to my world. Handicapped man down at a charity feed. Great spread this morning. God, it was horrible. But it made what I needed to happen. Then I had these people that stopped and said, "Hey, you want some shoes?" I said, "Yeah, I was going to need to get some anyway. So might as well." And if it really comes to fruition, help them buy more shoes so that we can help more people. I'm not we, but you know what I mean. Hell, might as well. There's nothing wrong with helping someone. You know, it makes for good karma or good energy, whatever it takes. Hell, I ought to do a product placement for Coca-Cola, too.
You're pushing it, Turtle, but have a good day. Thanks, mate. I appreciate you coming on camera.
Oh, yeah, for sure, man.
The bright lights, the glitz, the glamour. It all means nothing without a shot. A chance to turn dreams into reality. To change your destiny. To make history. Nothing's given. Everything earned. It's more than a race. It's a shot at a championship.
Let's go get a championship, baby!
The NASCAR playoffs return to Las Vegas Motor Speedway for the South Point 400, October 13th and 15th.
Hey, we're back. There
And
you
we're
go.
back,
There we
yes.
are. We're back here for you on Pit Road Racing. There you go, a little bit. We're still have to see Pit Road Racing is live right here at WSBM Television Network. We do them live each and every Wednesday from downtown Las Vegas. Everybody, the entertainment capital of the world. First, Shirley Allen Michaels and Diane Fox sitting here beside us. Man, a great weekend of racing out there, Diane, all the way. That's for sure. You know what I mean? So, shall we get it started?
Yeah, I even got up early. I got up at 6:15 to watch the F1.
Well, speaking of F1, let's go to it. Breakfast
Yes.
in Monaco started the Memorial Day weekend off, right, with three big events. The GP of Monaco had just a little bit of everything, everybody. We had sunny skies. We had partly cloudy skies. We had rain. We had slick racing tires. We had rain testing tires. We had tires of all kinds. We had people coming, people going. But I'm going to tell you one thing, that Red Bull team was the team to beat, and I don't think anybody can touch him. It was Max Verstappen, man. He did it, and I mean, he did it in style. Diane, this is what I really like. About 7-8 laps to go, and of course, F1 runs a road course or a street city course, usually 2.5, 3 miles long, man. 8 laps is a long time around.
Yes.
And Max held these guys off 18 to 20 seconds, and that's even after he took his last pit stop. He still held him up. I just couldn't believe it.
He was flying. He sure was flying.
He really was. It was Max Verstappen, Fernando Alonso, and Esteban Ocon in your top three rounding out the podium right there, man. And big news notes. Here's something that's coming across the line, man. You know our buddy Lewis Hamilton, 7-time in Formula One champion, man. Things could not be happy at Team Mercedes. And in fact, the rumors are going around right now that he's out of that car. One rumor says that he's out from Mercedes. The other rumor going around that he wants out of that car. He doesn't think that Mercedes is putting in the time, the effort, the money that they'd have always put into him. Ferrari is coming on like a strong. Aston Martin is coming on strong, Diane.
Yeah.
So what could happen? Do you think Lewis Hamilton could be switching before the end of the year? At the end of the year?
I think you will.
Really?
I really do think you will.
I think if Ferrari or Aston Martin can pony up the money on the salary, he could be saying goodbye.
Yes.
Currently, right now in the points, it's Verstappen, it's Sergio Perez, Fernando Alonso, Lewis Hamilton, and George Russell, your top five. And the series, like you said, is heading off to Barcelona, Spain this weekend. So that was something right there. I'm going to tell you something. To watch Lewis Hamilton run the way he's run reminds me of the old days of Michael Schumacher, when Michael Schumacher, before he got hurt, 7 titles, 7 championships. Do you think that Mercedes would want to keep him around if technology, if Ferrari, if Aston Martin, if Renault are starting to catch up with this? This could be some trouble down the road right here. I have a good feeling, Diane. I think you could be right. I think if the money is right and he is not happy at the end of the year, I think Lewis could be on his way to a different thing.
And I don't think he's happy right now. So
I think so. All right.
I don't think he's happy.
All right. So we had breakfast in Monaco. Where do we go for lunch, Diane?
We went to Indianapolis.
We certainly did. And the agonizing wait and the nagging question finally was over for Joseph Newgarden, the 2-time NXT championship. Man, I'm telling you, this race had everything in it. It's probably one of the best Indy 500s that I've seen in a long time. I mean, they were racing, weren't they, Diane?
They were really racing. They were racing like they were NASCAR.
Yeah, I mean, it was something else. You saw just a little bit of everything. I mean, things that happened on pit road. My guy that I picked to win a race, Colton Herta, right there, was on a great move. He was on a good comeback, and then all of a sudden getting out of the pits, people are slamming into cars, tearing wings off of it. And then it came down to where they got down to the last 5 or 6 laps, and red flags kept coming. You think that the Indy car was not playing the Indy car, that they were playing demolition derby with all the parts and stuff
That's what
going
it seemed
on.
like.
But anyhow, I'm going to just tell you, he passed him up. And I don't know if I like this whole deal that they did. The third red flag, they brought everybody back to the cars, got the track cleaned up. but no warm-up lap.
No.
They took him straight out of the pits, down the backstretch, got him geared up around turn 3, down the short back chute into 4, down into the main straightaway, then cut the green flag with a white flag with it, which meant next flag wins the lap. Well, it was Marcus Ericsson for Chip Ganassi Racing, who had had one heck of a day, and he had had one heck of a day all day long, and it came down to it. Penske's going to pick up his 19th win at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, his 19th. He's looking for 20. But I'm going to tell you something. I don't know, man. I don't know if they would have started that thing off right. I think old Chip Ganassi's guy could have given him a run for the money.
And I've been reading and stuff and looking at some videos and stuff, and I kind of agree with a lot of the people out there. That was a little bit of a dangerous move.
It was crazy considering those cars run 220, 232. I saw an interview with Tony Stewart. He said when his fastest that he ever got on a solo run in an Indy car was 234 miles an hour. But he said the cars are totally different now than what they were back then.
But I totally agree with a lot of people out there that,
Santino Fiorucci. I want to give a shout out to Santino out there. What a heck of a run this kid had for AJ Foyt Racing, man. I thought it was going to be, 20-some years, 20, 25, 30, almost 30 years that Foyt Racing had not won in the Indianapolis 500. And I thought Fiorucci was going to pull this off.
Oh, yes.
I thought AJ is just going to go wild. It was. Joseph Newgarden, your winner. Marcus Ericsson, second. Santonio Fiorucci, third. Alex Palou and Alexander Rossi making up your top 5 right there. And, of course, this weekend they're heading to, not to Belle Island. That was a little thing right off of Detroit that they had a race course built out there. And now they've taken it off of Belle Island, and they're going to race down the streets in Detroit this weekend.
Wow.
So that's what they're doing with that. So it should be something here. Alex Blow leads Marcus Ericsson and Patty Award out there. Patty, I thought was going to have a good run, and then he got taken out. That's it. So there you go with that. So we had lunch in Indianapolis, and where's the late barbecue and dinner at?
We went to Charlotte, North Carolina.
There you go. Well, we had to get it all started off because it was the Craftsman Truck Series and gambling on the lead. Carson Hostebar after a restart, but it was Ben Rhodes who took it, man, won lap 111 to 134. Friday night's North Carolina Education 200 at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. I'm telling you something great. Ben Rhodes, Corey Helm, you got Dean Thompson, Carson Hostebar, Grant Enfinger, our buddy from Alabama, in there in the top 5 slot. Christian Eckes, Ty Majeski, Matty D is up in there, Nicholas Sanchez, and Taylor Gray. That's Tanner's younger brother right there, and he's having a good run. Points-wise for you, Diane, it's Corey Helm, Ty Majeski, Zane Smith, Grant Enfinger, and Christian Eckes. Up next, coming around this weekend, Wide World Technology Raceway in St. Louis. Okay, so that's it. Let me see. That's what you got going on with the Craftsman Truck Series. Also, we got a couple of penalties in there on the Craftsman trucks about old seat belts. I guess NASCAR checks, man. You got to replace the seat belts every 2 years.
And that sounds safe.
2 years. So they got a couple of teams.
Like a safety thing,
They got a couple of teams on that. There's going to be some fines and penalties coming on down the road with that. Xfinity Series, man. Well, 36 hours, Diane, it took them to run that event. It was rain, go away. What do you say? You just wouldn't leave.
I didn't think that rain was ever going to stop.
Justin Allgaier, your big winner out there, man. I'm telling you, he looked good at Charlotte Motor Speedway. He picked it up, man. He led, got it, put it down on lap 131, and he never looked back, winning over John Hunter Nemechek, almost 8 seconds between first and second place. It was Allgaier, John Hunter Nemechek, Cole Custer, Austin Hill, Ty Gibbs, Parker Resliff, Jeb Burton, Carson Hostebar, and Brandon Jones, your top 10. Right now, the points going from Corey Helm to Ty Majeski. Looking all good with that stuff. So next up for them, they're going to be up in Portland.
Yeah.
Going to be in Portland. Well, wrapping it up, man, it took them a day and 58 races. 58 races for Ryan Blaney, but he finally picked up the big win. Not only did Penske get himself his 19th IndyCar win at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, but Penske got a double weekend by Penske IndyCar, Penske Stock Car Racing. Penske pulls off the big double out there for you. Ryan Blaney, your winner.
He was dominating. He had a good, fast car. His pits were good. and he just stayed out of trouble. He did. He stayed out of trouble.
Kept his car clean. You know, he sort of reminded me, he didn't pull the Dale Jarrett where Dale Jarrett used to, like, he'd take the pole, win a lap, and he'd go to the back and go, I'll let the knuckleheads battle it out, and I'll bring my car up. Blaney raced all day long. It was good to see him get a win because last year he made the chase for the championship, not with a win, but stayed consistent.
Exactly. The only win he had last year was the All-Star.
Yep.
And so since that's a non-point, so he didn't. So yeah, I was speechless for a while. I was just kind of like sat there and went, oh wow, he did it.
Well, wrapping up your top 10 from Charlotte Motor Speedway and the Coca-Cola 600 was Ryan Blaney, William Byron, Martin Truex Jr. back for Joe Gibbs Racing. Ryan had won that race a couple of times, so everybody had a big pick on him and thought that he would do real well. Bubba Wallace, Tyler Reddick, Kyle Busch, Las Vegas native. Kyle was running really good.
He was running good.
Had to battle a penalty, had a bad pit stop, got taken out. Well, did you see him drive the car backwards down the way he did to get into pit road? Now, that was some slick driving.
That was. And he stayed straight. I'm like, and I mean, he didn't, So the man's got some skills there too.
I'm going to tell you something. When they get back to Las Vegas here in October, we get a shot to talk to Kyle. I got to ask you, did you learn that on a simulator, or is that something that you really learned?
Yeah.
It was something else. Ross Chastain still holds the points. Ryan Blaney, William Byron, Kevin Harvick, and Martin Truex Jr. Up next, Illinois Worldwide Technology Raceway this weekend, man. So you can get your tickets to the Enjoy Illinois 300. All right.
Yeah, there was some good NASCAR. There were some good things happening in NASCAR.
Well, there was some good racing there this weekend. There was some beating and banging, and we'll get to it because there's been some penalties. There's been all kinds of things that have happened. I mean, there's sanctioning left and right. The number 14 team was docked 20 points. Chase Briscoe, man, they've got it. Suspensions, fines, they got it all. His crew chief is out for a week. And then the big one, Chase Elliott. Everybody's talking about this. He hooked him, Diane. I'm sorry, he hooked him.
He did. And I know there are a lot of people out there that, they're saying that there is no reason for a suspension. Well, when Bubba got Kyle Larson, he got suspended.
Yep.
You do it to one, you have to do it to them all.
Well, listen, you're running an automobile out here. You're running an automobile 180, 200 miles an hour around this track. You're in a concrete surface, concrete walls, safer barrier, all in line. That's fine. I get that. But when you start hooking people at 180 mile an hour down the front stretch and sending them in the wall, somebody can get hurt.
I mean, that could have been a disaster. It could have been a big time disaster.
Yep.
And then the tire.
Yep. Yeah. The tire. You see that? I wonder if Penske bought that guy or girl a new car because
I don't know. That's what you were saying this morning. I don't know when it was happening and they were showing where the tire was going. I mean, I was watching it and I almost thought it was going into the crowd. I mean, I was holding my breath because it was so close to that fence that I thought it had just got. And I'm thinking, oh Lord, please. And then they showed that it. I think it was a little windy but I think the wind or something took it and it hit a car.
It took
Thank God for that, though.
Took the left front side of that car completely down. I mean, it's like going to the golf course and seeing Shaquille O'Neal take a drive off the fairway and put a divot in the ground. It was about 2 foot deep. You know what I mean?
And I thought I saw while they were showing the car that there was a little hole in there. So I mean, that thing. Oh yeah, it busted it.
Yeah, I wonder if Roger bought the person to do. Roger.
I don't know. We were talking about that this morning. I said, well, just give him one of same kind, but you're like, you give him a brand new one. So if anybody else has something to say about that, send us an email. Well, let us know what you think.
The wheels and everything are all tethered together, but when that accident happened, it sheared it. That car coming by sheared that wheel and sent it flying through the air. There's lucky somebody wasn't killed there for that. I mean, a tire. I had a next door neighbor that when I was growing up, his father owned a plumbing business, and they were into NHRA drag racing, and they took him up to the Indianapolis drag strips for the Nationals there. And this was years and years ago, I think back in 1975, 76. And the gentleman's name was Ben Strawn. He had a kid next door, and they bought you remember, a blower had blown off of the car from a top fueler, and parts went through the catch fence and caught him, and he was blind. And I mean, he saw 2 days of racing, and after that, he was in the hospital, and he never saw again. And the sort of sad thing, his 16th birthday was coming up, and his father had just purchased, back when Mustang came out with the Mach 1.
Oh, nice.
Brand spanking new
Nice
Mach 1, and
car.
never got to drive it at all. It was a sad thing. So you got to watch out, be prepared.
And that's one reason I won't sit by the fence. I will not sit by a fence.
I'll
Sorry.
do short track racing. I'll do some short track stuff in a mile, but when it gets to
Yeah.
that big super speedway, I want to
No.
be up away from the gate and the fence a little bit.
Far away.
Real quickly, we just covered it. The NASCAR has suspended Chase Elliott, the number 9 Chevrolet for Hendrick Motorsports. It'll be Corey LaJoy who will set in this weekend. He will fill in the driver duties. This was just announced late yesterday afternoon. LaJoy replaces Chase Elliott. Sundays enjoy the Illinois 300. He was suspended Tuesday for initially wrecking Denny Hamlin, and Monday's Coca-Cola 600. So that'll be going on. And then let's see, there was a LaJoy becomes the 4th driver this season to take a hold of the number 9. Of course, Josh Berry's been in it for a while. Elliott missed 6 races due to the broken leg. Now this one, I'll tell you.
And he's the most popular driver.
Most popular driver, that certainly is.
And I know he has a temper.
Yep.
You know, we all know that. Well, most of us know that. But him being the most popular driver, you would think that, you know, keep your nose clean a little bit.
Yeah.
But I think he snapped. I
Right.
just think, I mean, because a lot of them are getting tired of a lot of the stuff that is going on while the races go. You know,
Right.
there's a lot of them that are getting tired of a lot of the stuff that's going on.
Right.
I'm not going to bring up any names. I think Ross Chastain, I think he's calmed down a little bit.
Well, you know, after the incident with Hendrick, you
Mhm.
know, and I mean, people said that. I mean, Kyle Busch made this statement about 3 or 4 weeks ago in the pits. He goes, "We've lost respect for each other on this track. This isn't running around, you know, in a running race on a high school or college or professional running track. That we're driving automobiles, rocket ships around this thing too, you know, 150, 200 miles an hour. And we've got to have respect for each other when we're on the track. Racing is racing, but just initially going to take people out, whether Denny took him out first or somebody took somebody out first, if you're going to start doing that, man, you're going to get off. Anyhow, just really quickly to wrap this up, Carson Hosfar is going to fill in for LaJoy in the number 7
Oh, okay.
that weekend. So that's what you got going on. Go ahead.
Another thing, when we talked to Haeden here coming up, I was going through his Facebook and stuff, and I saw a picture and I saw a comment, and I can't wait to talk to him because I can't wait to go kudos to them 2 racers, and just stick around because maybe this is what we need. Maybe this is what the adults need to see is what I saw, and kudos to them 2 young men.
Well, you know, adrenaline runs, tempers run, everything runs. You're trying to win. You're trying to get in. 10 different winners in the Cup Series this year. 16 make the run for the championship at the end of the year coming up. Las Vegas will host the second round, the round of 8, I think, the round of 8 that comes here. So anyhow, I mean, that's the way it is. But to intentionally try to take somebody out on something, it just really doesn't, just really.
And this is my thing. You don't know the outcome. You know, you don't know the outcome. You might think, okay, well, I'll just tap him a little bit or whatever, spin him out, but you don't know.
Right.
You don't know the outcome. So
that's it.
They need to calm themselves down a little bit, I think.
Yeah, you're going to do that because what's going to end up happening, the thing that Chase Elliott's got to start watching about, and the rest of these people, is who's paying the bills out here.
Exactly.
You know, Napa, I think, let it slide the first time around. But I don't know if they're going to let this so much slide. I mean, when you start to pay the money that these companies pay to get involved, 10, 15, 20, $25 million, and the driver that you're picking to race, the guy that you're sponsoring, starts pulling stuff, getting his legs broken, taking people out, getting suspended off of the track, it just doesn't work.
I guess maybe we should try to reach out to one of these companies, the CEOs or somebody, the marketing person or whatever, and get them on the show and ask them, what do you expect from the drivers that you sponsor?
Yeah.
And then ask them a question and say, okay, so, you know, give them a scenario, see what they say.
Yeah.
I would really like to know, what these people in these companies that are paying so much money for these drivers to go racing, that when a driver acts out, you know, really, I mean, can you imagine the next day, you know, people in the boardroom and stuff?
Oh yeah,
like,
they're sitting up and said, well, listen, from ours, the M&M company about 3 or 4 years ago when Kyle Busch got into his tyrant raids and throwing the mics and breaking guitars and things that he was doing.
Yeah.
When Mars came to Joe Gibbs and said, listen, man, we gave you $25 million, and he's representing Mars, whether it's M&M's or it's the Snickers bar or whatever he's got paint scheme or wrap scheme he's got on the car that week, that's still a national company, and they paid the money to be on that car and for the driver to act like he's got some common sense out there and not act like an idiot. And I think once that happened, you saw Kyle sort of settle down.
Oh, yes.
You know, remember, I've said it many a times on this program. Richard Childress told me, he said, how do you become a billionaire? A billionaire becomes a millionaire. You buy a race team. You know, a millionaire becomes broke. You sponsor that race team.
I think I'm going to reach out or try to reach out to somebody in one of these organizations that do sponsor one of these drivers and see if we can't get them on the show, and so we can ask them.
Well, that's what I think we're going to do. And we're going to talk.
I'm curious now.
And we're going to talk to a young man that he's sitting in front of our green room right now. And I noticed on his car, he's got a big sponsor on that car called Toyota on that car.
There you go.
So we're going to talk to him. Our special guest. Who is he, Diane? Tell us all about
it. It's Haeden. Plybon.
And we're going to talk to him right after we take this quick break. On Pit Road Racing is live from Las Vegas, Nevada. Diane Fox, Alan Michaels, back in 2 minutes, everybody.
The bright lights, the glitz, the glamour. It all means nothing without a shot. A chance to turn dreams into reality. To change your destiny. To make history. Nothing's given. Everything earned. It's more than a race. It's a shot at a championship.
Let's go get a championship, baby!
The NASCAR playoffs return to Las Vegas Motor Speedway for the South Point 400, October 13th through 15th.
Are you ready for the wildest ride on Fremont Street? The Gene Woods Racing Indoor Go-Kart Track Experience. 450 Fremont Street, suite number 171 on the corner of Las Vegas Boulevard and Fremont Street. Open 7 days a week, noon until midnight. Strap yourself in, pull your safety belts tight, and feel the power and the speed at the Gene Woods Racing Indoor Go-Kart Track Experience, downtown Las Vegas, Fremont Street, 450 Fremont Street, suite number 171, right on the corner of Las Vegas Boulevard and Fremont Street. What are you waiting for? Log on, get your tickets now. It's time to go racing at the Gene Woods Racing Indoor Go-Kart Track Experience. 450 Fremont Street, downtown Las Vegas.
Jerry B. here up in Sacramento, Union Gospel Mission, giving out some shoes to the homeless here. A lot of smiling faces. We got one deal. We give you a pair of shoes. You got to give us a smirk and a photo. And this is the mission of the Hot Shoe Hall of Fame, which is a non-profit organization based out of Las Vegas, started by Gene Woods. We're trying to do good things and fill little holes in people's lives the best we can. And today we're up in Sacramento, just doing the best we can. Thanks for supporting us.
And people recognize Jerry Bernardo from his old days in Motor World and everything that he did. He's a great guy, great host. He was nutty, man. You ever seen Jerry on the videotapes?
I saw one.
Really?
Well, and he was laying down in the grass.
He was laying in the grass?
That's the only one I saw.
There
I guess I need to research and try to find some more because I've heard he was a nut. So yeah,
I mean,
still is a nut.
Ricky Rackman was a nut, but I think Ricky took everything off of Jerry Bernardo because Jerry Bernardo was a nut. There he goes, Motor World GP2.
Bad influence, Jerry.
There you see him on the screen. We've got him live right there. I don't know if he's sitting in his race car or where he's sitting in at.
He's sitting in a vehicle.
He's sitting in a vehicle. Diane, bring him on board for us.
Welcome to the show. For the first time, we have Haeden Plybon. Is that how you say your last name?
Yep, that's correct.
Yep, that's it. Plybon. Are you in a vehicle of some type?
Yeah, I had to pull off the road, and that's why I was late. I was trying to get somewhere to pull off.
Oh no. We were jabbering, so I really wasn't even watching the time. So, but man, I was watching some of your videos and stuff, and I was on your Facebook because I wanted to have some really cool questions to ask you. But all I saw in there was you winning. So you
Try
win
our
all the
best.
time, don't you? Win a lot.
Hayden, I mean, that's it. We were trying to find race records from you. We were trying to find something that we could actually talk to you about, that everything in every picture we come, he wins the
Your win.
100. He wins the 125. He wins this. He wins that. You're standing there with winner's checks and everything in front of you. So the only thing that I know for sure is you know how to motor a car and you know how to win, man. How did you get started in motorsports, my friend? Tell us all about your story.
So I started racing go-karts when I was 4 years old. I got into that because my dad used to race like these cars called mini stocks here. It's just a 4-cylinder, full scale, like Fox body Mustang kind of. But yeah, he started stepping down and I started getting into it. So I started in the go-karts on dirt. Did those for just a couple years. I think got second or third in a couple championships when we were running them full time, and then moved to the Bandoleros, which are just a little small asphalt car. I'm sure you guys know what they are, but raced those for a couple years. I got into those when I was 7, almost 8, I believe.
Wow.
So we raced those for a couple years. I think maybe won a championship and got second or third a couple times. Then we really started getting into it a lot during those times. And then moving up to Legend Kart 12, we really were passionate about racing, me and my dad, and we did it a lot, and that's just all we really did, and we really enjoyed it. So did the Legend Car thing for just a couple years. So I think got second and almost won a championship because I think we missed a race or two because we were traveling more during that time because we were trying to go explore more tracks and try to race some different names and stuff. So got a track record in that, and then at 14, almost 15 is when I finally made the move into late models. Won my first race, and then actually I think I won my first 2 races in a late model, which was pretty cool to see. And then that's just what we've been doing from then. I mean, started off in the pro late model, and then I think a year or two ago is when we moved into the super late model and the pro late model. So it's been busy. We have a couple track records, couple championships, I believe, and then just try and win all the races we go to. So it keeps us busy and takes up a lot of my time, for sure.
I guess, yeah. I mean, do you even have a social life? It's racing.
Sometimes, yeah. Mostly just racing.
Mostly racing now.
Let me ask you a question. A lot of these kids coming up, and I do this, and we have a very good friend of ours that partakes in this program. It's called Shot Talk with Billy Mitchell. Billy's an engineer, bachelor's and master's degree. I mean, unbelievable. And I've actually watched him build 2 race cars from the ground up. Do you get out in the garage, man? Are you turning wrenches? Are you doing things? Or are you just a driver coming in to be hired and put in the car?
No, I get off work at 4 o'clock and try to get off work at 4 o'clock and then go work at the race shop with my crew chief, Kevin Richards, till he goes inside, which is like 7. So we get a few hours a night in. I can't always do that because sometimes I'm late at work and then just wouldn't make sense to be out there. But I try to go out there as much as I can, just learn, even if I'm just hanging out, watching what he's doing. But yeah, I try to get more hands-on and learn the basic. I mean, I already learned the basics, but I'm trying to learn more into it. So hopefully I can start doing it on my own at one point, he's not going to do it forever. But yeah, I don't like just showing up and drive. I like knowing what the car does and what changes do what. So
that right there is something else, because there's a lot of these people who are on out, and Billy talks about this. I mean, some of these kids coming up nowadays don't even know how to change oil. You know what I mean? So to learn the aspects of the car and what the car will do, is that, Diane, you have a question for him?
No.
Well, but I'll go on for it. Listen, down here, they did a thing. We ran super late models down here for a lot of years, and then they changed it. And what they did is they went to what they call a pro late model, which you said. Now, here's how they work it here. Pretty much everybody's running a crate motor here, okay? If you want to run the big body motor, the big motor into it, the SRL motor or whatever it might be, then they automatically stick 300 pounds of lead in the car for you to weigh it down. Now, in the state of Washington, are the rules, first of all, is there a super late model and a pro late model, and what is the difference?
So the biggest difference would be the tire. We don't run, I think back east they run the same tire, just do crate motors instead of big motors. So back over here, we actually run on a 9-inch treaded tire. It's called the Hoosier 970.
Okay.
And then we have weight penalties too. I think its base weight is 2750 if you have a 604 crate motor. sealed, like GM sealed and everything.
Right.
That's the pro late model, that is. So, but anything besides that 604 crate motor, you have to pack on weight. So it's like 50 pounds, 100 pounds, whatever they have it at. But we just run a crate motor in our pro late model because that tire will only take so much power. So yeah, that's the pro late model. And then for the supers, they run the Hoosier 1035. I mean, not 1035. Yeah, 1035, 1045.
Right.
Slick, which is a 10-inch slick.
Right.
Yeah, that I think the base weight's 2,800 or 2,750. I don't remember exactly,
right.
But yeah, and then you could just run whatever. I mean, it's still going to add weight depending on what you have or take weight. Like you could run a crate motor in that, you could take weight off, but there's certain tracks that power won't cut it, you know.
Right.
So
wow.
Yeah, that's how pretty much they do it here. The same thing. They're all running a crate. Yeah, the pros are running it, and so are the modifieds too. They're running crates here. And if you want, like I said, if you want to go to the big block motor, then you're going to add the weight to get to it. So, and I think the reason why they did that is because a lot of the guys down here were taking their super lates and sort of transforming it into the SRL cars. You know what I mean? So they could run both series and not really make a big change. And then basically Irwindale, Las Vegas, and a couple of the big tracks around this area for local racing said, now we're going to go to crate motors. And if you want to run the big body, if you want to run the big block thing, then we're going to stick 300 pounds of lead on top of it. So that's where we're at there. Diane, go ahead.
So what do you contribute to you winning? I mean, what do you think it is that's given you all these opportunities to win?
Definitely just the time that we spend on the car. I mean, like most of these people that complain about not winning and struggling, they're not working on their car. So, I mean, we get done from the race Saturday, I unload the car Sunday, clean it, take it to our race shop Sunday night or Monday afternoon, and then we work on it all week long, trying to make it to the next show. So it's definitely a lot of work to win.
Yeah, you know your car. I mean,
yeah, I try to. I don't know everything, but I have a general idea of most of it. So, I mean, I don't call the shots or nothing,
right?
Because I'm not the crew chief, but
right,
I'm still trying to learn it.
No,
but yeah, I mean,
do you own your own car? Is that your car, or are you driving another or somebody else's car? Is that your car that you're driving?
My dad owns it.
Okay. Your dad, family. So got it.
You're 19, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so he's still pretty young.
He's young.
Where do you see yourself in 5 years? Hopefully, where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Probably just running some races here and there. I don't know. Probably not do it as hard as we're doing it now. I think this year or next year will probably be our last year that we hit it super hard, just because life, you know, it's hard. It gets busy. It's definitely hard running every weekend like we have been. So. It's just it's a lot.
Do you want this to be a part of your future racing?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think like the NASCAR level because it takes a lot of money to do that, and we're just not. It's just not possible with us.
So he's kind of like Scott Gaffarini.
Yeah, you remind us a lot of Scott Gaffarini, who's the 7-time track champion down here. I don't know if you know Scott or have heard of Scott, but he's won the track championship, won the state championship 6 times, the track championship 7 times. And Scott he raced ASA. He's had offers to go, I guess it's Craftsman the Craftsman Truck Series now. And he's turned it down. He said there's just the commitments, the money, and he just has a lot of fun. So racing is not going to be what you want to get into as full time. What is a career? What are you looking to do as far as a career after you're racing? After you get done racing?
I mean, I'd do racing as a career if they paid for it. I mean, if it was a free ride, I'd definitely do it. You know, I don't think anybody would. But I don't know. I haven't figured that out yet. I just graduated last year. I've just been working full time for my dad because he owns this rain gutter company in Spokane, which is where I live. So it gives me it helps me out a lot because, I mean, it's hard to work an actual, like, job for somebody else when you're taking every Friday almost off, you know? Right. So, I don't know, just do this for a while and then probably try and do my own thing at some point, maybe some excavating business or something. I don't know. We'll see.
What's your favorite track that you race?
That I've raced or that I race, like, often?
Just...
Favorite track across the board. When it's on the schedule, you're just licking your chops, man. Yeah. You're ready to go, you know?
Whether you've won or lost. Yeah.
The coolest track I think I've been to and raced at is Irwindale.
Oh,
Wow,
yeah,
okay.
everyone does a good job. Have you been to Las Vegas? Have you ever tried the bull ring here?
Only in a legend car. I've never been there in a full-size car, but I like that place too. I went there for the Nationals the last time they had it, and it was fun. Actually, the last 2 times they had it there.
Yeah, we had Danica Dart on last week.
Yeah. Do you know Danica? She's out of the Washington State. Do you know Danica Dart?
She said her favorite. Yeah, she said her favorite track to race in was here in the Las Vegas at the Bull Ring. So she said it's one of the hardest, but she's she likes to race here. So
go ahead.
I like that place too. We haven't made it over there in a full size car. I really want to, but they don't really have many big races anymore. I don't think.
Right.
Yeah, the big one comes up at the end of the year for the big open comp, $15,000 winner take all type of thing, and I mean it draws them from everywhere: California, Arizona, Utah, up your way in Washington. It's a big event. They draw about 40 cars. They got so big last year they had to do heat races to get to the main event.
Yeah.
Toughest driver you've ever.
Yeah.
We may have to try that one out.
Yeah, come on, man. We'd love to have you come down. I think you drove it on. When you rode it in a legend, you said a legend cars when you were there, right? Did you run the road course, or did you run the road course, or did you run the bull ring itself?
The bull ring.
All right, the bull ring. Okay.
Yeah. I don't know how to do road course.
Toughest competitor you've ever raced against.
Like just in a race, or like race like for a win?
Yeah, a win, or somebody that he's just I don't know if you want to call it rivalries or anything like that. Do you have a rivalry? Is there somebody out there that each week you guys are ready to go at each other and put the metal to the pedal, a little fender here and there?
I got no rivalries, but I think the toughest guy I've raced against is probably. That's a good question. Because I don't know. I've raced Derek Thorne and Preston Peltier and Trevor Christiani's over here. And we went to the Snowball Derby last year. We didn't make it in, but we raced in the last chance race, which was like Brad Keselowski and people like that.
Yeah.
But,
right.
I don't know. I think like the person I have like the most like battled out races with would be Trevor Christiani, which is he's from Boise, but he comes and races. He used to come up here and race all the time, but he's stepped back and kind of crew chiefs more now. But he's pretty fun to race against, so that's probably one.
Now, do you watch NASCAR at all?
Not usually.
Not usually.
If they're somewhere cool, I'll try to watch, but not like.
Right.
Okay, so wait a second. Now I got this. So you just said somewhere cool. So where is somewhere cool in your mind with NASCAR?
Short tracks. Or like
that's my favorite. Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't like
watching like Daytona or Talladega. I like they're at like Bristol or Martinsville.
Yeah.
So now here's my question for you. What did you think about Wilkesboro coming back, Haeden?
I didn't even get to watch it. I watched the late model. I seen some clips of the late model race, but I didn't even see nothing on the NASCAR race because I was out of town. I think on that Sunday.
Wow, it was a great race. Great race. I was going, like I said, I was going through your Facebook and stuff, and we've been having a lot of disrespectful stuff going on the track in the NASCAR track. I don't know if you've heard about, what's going on, and a lot of people are saying there's a lot of disrespect between the drivers and stuff. I was looking through your Facebook, and I don't know who won the race, and I'm not sure what race it is, but you get out of it. You can tell you've gotten out of your car. And then there's another young man. He's coming towards you, and you guys are shaking hands. So one of you guys won. You guys were supposedly racing door to door. Do you remember that race?
Yeah, that was a couple weeks ago. He won that by like 0.15.
Yeah, it was very close. But the thing was, is when I saw that picture and I saw you guys shaking hands, is that how the young generation? Is that how you guys race each other on the track, or can it get as nasty as what it's been getting in NASCAR?
Oh, it could get rough. It just depends. Like, there's a few kids coming up, like that have been racing late models for a couple years now, but just jumping in with super lates.
Right.
Most of them are pretty respectful, which is cool. But
Okay.
and sometimes we all lose our head, so it just
Right.
kind of varies.
Have you lost your head before?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I try not to. I think I've only done it like once or twice, but it's just sometimes it's like.
But I'm just the reason I just wanted to give you guys you and that other young man kudos because that's the way racing should be. I mean, you don't race for to take somebody out because you don't know what's going to happen at the end. You could think you're only going to hit them just a little bit, and then you hit them, and something really bad goes on. So.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
there's a lot of work that goes into these cars and wrecking for no reasons.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at it, you're looking. I mean, I just can't believe the cost of what it is, and it is. I mean, shoot, man, you want to run? Like you talk about that. Kyle Busch has got a super late model program over in North Carolina. Man, it's $100,000 for a race. Now, of course, that's everything all included. The hauler, the team, and everything else. But $100,000, and it's almost just as cheap to go truck racing, really, as it is super late model racing nowadays. I've heard a lot of team owners talk about that they're going to skip it. So. But, it is what it is. I mean, like I think you came in on the app. I interviewed Richard Childers years and years ago, and he said, a billionaire becomes a millionaire by buying a race team, and a millionaire goes broke if he sponsors the race team. So you got to have that money. And, I mean, let me ask you this. With the incident with Chase Elliott that happened, I mean, you can see what you saw. I saw two different angles of this thing. I think he hooked him. That's my opinion. I think he hooked him. Okay. You think the penalty fed him right? Should he have been suspended? And the follow-up to this for you, Haeden, what do you think that the people at Napa, what do you think the people at Hooters, what do you think the Kelly Blue Book, I believe, is on that car too? So what do you think these people are thinking about this? You as a driver.
I didn't see it. I didn't see what happened. I didn't watch it.
Okay.
But I did see that he got penalized and that I think it was Corey LaJoy or something was getting put in the seat for the weekend. But I think it sucks. I mean, like, they're running for championship, like the owner's points, and that's like a big part of NASCAR and like what really brings in the money. I'm pretty sure, like, I don't know it exactly, but I'm pretty sure the championship points are, I mean, the owner points is what the owner money is what they're going for, really. I mean, you make a lot of money off for the owner, but I don't know. I think the sponsor definitely didn't like that. I mean, he's a pretty popular driver, and for them to penalize him over a wreck, I mean, there's other ways to go about it instead of taking him out of the chance to get the championship. But
they're saying that he did it intentionally.
Oh,
did it on
I don't know.
purpose. So I mean,
they said,
and from what I saw, it looked intentional.
I mean, this is all coming to paybacks to the thing with the deal with Chastain and this and that, and then of course, Chase and Denny had incidents earlier this year. I mean, I've just, as somebody that looks at the sponsor, somebody that looks at the sponsors at this thing. If I was Napa, and okay, now he's out 6-8 weeks for that broken leg. All right, now he's back. Now he's in the car, and now this happens. If I was Napa, I'd be making a telephone call first thing on Monday morning and going, either settle him down or we're going to take our $20 million and go somewhere else. I mean, that's just, I think that these guys have got to start learning that, Haeden, that if they're going to control this situation and get back feeling right, that's why we like grassroots racing, man, because you guys go out there, you put it on the track, there's 3 laps to go, and it's the Rusty Wallace rule. Remember that? Rusty Wallace's rule was you can either lead, follow, or get the heck out of the way because I'm coming, man, and I like to see that. But for somebody to intentionally take somebody out, man, somebody can get hurt. Let's just put it that way.
But like you said, they're tempers are heated. Sometimes you you
just lose it sometimes. I mean, once it's done, it's done. You can't take it back. So
take it back,
that's it.
It's hard.
Wow. It's been fun talking to you. It's really been fun talking to you. Is there anything else that you want us to get across to the World Wide Web about you?
I don't know.
How about a shout out to your sponsors?
Yeah.
How about a shout out to your sponsors, your team, crew chief, people that are working for you, tracks that you like to race, and before we let you go, also where they can find you social media too, Haeden, okay?
Okay. Yeah, first off, I'd like to thank shout out the Corky Driver Development Program. I'm second-year part of it, and I'm trying my best to get that Corky. But definitely check them out. It's a really cool program, and anybody can apply if they're a certain age. So that would be my first thank, and then just Cascade Rain Gunners, which is my dad, this main sponsor. Muffler Mar here in Spokane, Evergreen State Towing here in Spokane, and Ritzville and the Valley. Angels Bail Bonds, Toyota Tri-Cities sometimes, and just anybody else that helps me, my crew. And my socials, you can find me it's at Haeden Plybon Racing on basically everything. My Facebook got hacked, so I have there's people that kept making different accounts for me. So the most recently active one is me, and same thing with Twitter, Haeden Plybon Racing, and then my Instagram is also Haeden Plybon Racing. So those are my handles, and then if you're in Washington, come check out the Wenatchee 200 this weekend. It's 20,000 to win, and there should be 30 super late models, so it should be a good show.
Should be a really good show. Hey,
I did also see your you got some swag going on out there, don't you? I saw your hoodie. You got a nice looking hoodie going out there. Where can people go to get those?
So they will be up on my website, HaedenPlybonRacing.com soon. We're still working out the kinks. We will be putting those up there soon.
Okay, because I'd like to get one. So because I saw that and I'm like, wow, I like that hoodie. So
something else.
Cool. Yeah.
All righty, Melissa. Hey, I want to thank you so much for your time, my friend. I want to say something real quick, too, before I let you go. About a shout out to your mom out there, because your mom and I have been working back to get you on here. And I don't know if you know, but I know your dad's helping you and working with you, but your mom is one big supporter. There ain't nothing like having mom in the trailer, man. I'm telling you that right now. So what a shout out to your mom for getting this all together. She's the one that really put this all together for us. So a shout out to your mom. Okay?
And you know what? She's your biggest fan. She is your biggest fan.
Anything else, everybody?
I've been busy and I missed some texts, so I'm glad she helped me out. But,
well, it's been fun talking to you.
Let us know if
you guys having me on.
Yeah, we really do. We want, man. You're kicking butt and you're taking names, man. And as long as you just keep winning, that's all you need to do. I think. Don't give up, because I think that you could get. It's all about getting you young kids in front of the right person at the right time, man. And that's really what it is. You got to have some money, but get you in front of the right person at the right time. Please let us know if you come down to Las Vegas, if you're going to run the bull ring or open comp. If you want to come down for a cup race, let us know. We'd love to have you come out and be a guest with us. We'll take you to the track and have some fun with you. But we want to thank you for your time so much, Haeden. Thank you so much.
Cool. Yeah, thank you guys. We'll try and go to the Fall Classic race. Is that what they call it, the Fall Classic?
Yes. Yes, the Fall Classic, or better known as the Open Comp now, is what it is. 15,000, winner take all, man. Winner takes it all.
And I could see you winning that.
I did too.
I could see you winning that.
We might have to try it. That'd be cool, because we want to travel more. So,
there you go. Hey, listen, man, have a great season. Keep taking them names. Keep kicking the butts, man. Pedal to the metal, man. And we're following you and we're watching you, okay?
Thank you, guys. Have a good night. I appreciate it.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it. We're going to take a quick break, everybody. We'll wrap it up. Thanks, Haeden. Appreciate that. Alan Michaels, Diane Fox on Pit Road Racing. We're back right after this, everybody.
The bright lights, the glitz, the glamour. It all means nothing without a shot. A chance to turn dreams into reality. To change your destiny. To make history. Nothing's given. Everything earned. It's more than a race. It's a shot at a championship.
Let's go get a championship, baby!
The NASCAR playoffs return to Las Vegas Motor Speedway for the South Point 400, October 13th through 15th.
Are you ready for the wildest ride on Fremont Street? The Gene Woods Racing Indoor Go-Kart Track Experience. 450 Fremont Street, suite number 171 on the corner of Las Vegas Boulevard and Fremont Street. Open 7 days a week, noon until midnight. Strap yourself in, pull your safety belts tight, and feel the power and the speed at the Gene Woods Racing Indoor Go-Kart Track Experience, downtown Las Vegas, Fremont Street, 450 Fremont Street, suite number 171, right on the corner of Las Vegas Boulevard and Fremont Street. What are you waiting for? Log on, get your tickets now. It's time to go racing at the Gene Woods Racing Indoor Go-Kart Track Experience. 450 Fremont Street, downtown Las Vegas.
Welcome to my world. Handicapped man down at a charity feed. Great spread this morning. God, it was horrible. But it made what I needed to happen. Then I had these people that stopped and said, hey, you want some shoes? I said, yeah, I was going to need to get some anyway. So might as well. And if it really comes to fruition, help them buy more shoes so that we can help more people. Well, I'm not but you know what I mean. Hell, might as well. There's nothing wrong with helping someone. You know, it makes for good karma or good energy, whatever it takes. Hell, I ought to do a product placement for Coca-Cola, too.
You're pushing it, Turtle, but have a good day. Thanks, mate. I appreciate you coming on camera.
Oh, yeah, for sure, man.
All right, talk to you later.
Later, dude.
There it is. There you see. First ever Diane Archer's really out of Michaels. We are here about the Red Racing Men. And second hour, we were coming up, and I don't know what absolutely happened. We had another guest scheduled for, and it was Brad Oxley, and I don't think Brad. Sometimes people get tied up, so we can reschedule Brad and everything else. So, a member of the Hot Shoe Hall of Fame, this guy, just to let you, really, Diane, I was going over things today. I mean, he didn't play around, man. He did not play around at all. This guy was, Gene and I were talking about this. He is the two-time U.S. national champion, 1987 and 1999. He is the six-time Costa Mesa points champion. He won it 6 times. 2-time Southern California points leader. He was the 1981 British League Rookie of the Year. He's a promoter down at Costa Mesa Speedway. We'll get Brad on the show. We'll get him, man. He's just something else. Haeden Plybon, real good kid, huh?
It was a lot of fun. And then listening to him when he was talking about like his future and what it made me think of Scott Gaffarini, because Scott's more or less doing it. He loves it's something he loves to do. Now he doesn't, that's not it's not a job to him. But he's kicking butt too. He's kicked butt too. So
he's having a tough year. Him and Johnny are having a tough year.
This year, yeah.
They've got what they call the new car blues, man.
Yeah.
And that's what happens when you get the new cars out there on pit road racing. We're going to wrap it up for today real quickly, man. We were talking racing around the country. We got going with everything else. I want to remind you that the NHRA is back in New England for the New England Nationals this weekend, man. And it's a big one. And if you like clam chowder and if you like lobsters, that's the place to be right there, man, because they're going to be running. Go ahead.
But it's not going to be great weather down there.
Yeah, that's what you said earlier. The weather's going to be. Hey, right now on top at top fuel points, it's Steve Torrance on top of Brittany Force, last year's defending champion, Austin Prock, Justin Haley, Leah Pruitt, and our good buddy Antron Brown is having a good season this year, Diane. I like it. Josh Hart, Mike Cialis, Sean Langdon, and Doug Coletta wrap up your top 10 and top fuel. Funny car points for you. It's Matt Hagen, that farming boy out of North Carolina. I love it, man. He's up on top. Ron Capps, last year's defending champion. Robert Haeden is in there too, man, from John Force Motorsports. Alexis DeJoria back in the action in the top 5 so far. Tim Wilkerson, Chad Green, Bob Castus the third. We had Bob and the guys down here at the Gene Woods Racing Experience from the BG Racing and everything. We had those guys down here running. John Force, Cruz Petragon, and J.R. Todrod on your top 10 in funny car. In Pro Stock, Dallas Glenn is 186 points up.
And what's funny is, how long have we been covering NHRA? Quite a few years.
7 or 8 years.
I haven't really heard of him.
Yeah, but he's coming on, man.
He's coming back or something.
He's got everybody's name. It's Dallas Glenn, Matt Hartford, Derek Kramer, Troy Kloppman Jr., Aaron Steinfeld, and then you got Eddie Krolik. That's in the Pro Stock Motorcycle. Top 5 is that Pro Stock Motorcycles. It's Gage Herrera, Eddie Krolik, Matt Smith, and Hector Rana Jr. right there. But the big surprise The big surprise in Pro Stock is what has happened to Erica Enders, man.
Well, I just want to give a big shout out to her. Erica, just keep going. Just keep going. Don't let it get you down. Just keep going.
Here you go. Going to wrap it up for the day on Pit Road Racing. Before we go, we want to talk once again real quick. Diane, if you'll grab one, I'll grab one right here. Ladies and gentlemen, these are the hot shoes. These are heart shoes right here. And we have many, many, many pairs of these. And what this is, the Hot Shoe Hall of Fame is a 501c3. It is a nonprofit. We have these shoes here. We've been at, you've seen some of the video rolls that we've been going with Jerry B, the people over at the missions, stopping by. We just pop up with the van, and we take 50 or 100 pairs of shoes, and we start putting them on. HotShoeHof.com. If you'd like to make a donation to this to help us keep the shoes rolling, you're going to scroll down the page. You'll see the Heart Shoe logo there. You'll see the shoe, and you'll see the donate button right there. And you can use your Visa, MasterCard, American Express, PayPal, Discover, and all of that stuff that you can pay with and just donate.
And they're comfy.
Yep, we've got them on our feet.
Yep, they're comfy.
And whether it's $1, it's $5, $10, $100, whatever it might be, we invite you to join in that. And as far as sponsorship goes, people have been asking us, how can they be part of this program? We do not sell advertising on this program. All you need to do is give us a call, 702-803-0875. Log on right down there. Give us a call, $500 donation. $500 donation gets you 250 30-second spots on this program on this network right here. So we'll talk more about it. Going to wrap it up for us today. We're back at you, show number 15 next week here at On Pit Road Racing. Diane, it's good to have you back in the. Good to have you back.
Good to be back.
Yes, it certainly is. And we'll be doing it next week right here, 5 p.m. Everybody at On Pit Road Racing. And I think it's time for us to call our good friend.
Thanks for joining us for On Pit Road Racing. Follow us on our website, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at On Pit Road Racing. On Pit Road Racing is written and produced by WCOBN TV. I'm John the Announcer for On Pit Road Racing.